Hey everyone, this is AJ Smith and hope you've had a good new year. So welcome to 2023. And I know a lot of people have made a lot of New Year's resolutions. You made some in regards to your physical fitness, your health. But what I want to do is focus on helping individuals with their financial situations. So we know that in 2022 was a very turning year as far as financially for a lot of individuals. You've seen, more and more recession talks. We've seen a lot more inflation. We've seen, changes to the interest rates, which are causing serious fluctuations in our economy, not just here in the United States, but throughout the world. And so the future talks and the future forecast from a lot of economists is that 2023 and 2024 are going to be very turbulent and volatile years. So what I want to do is introduce you to a solution that I've developed, that I've been using for years, that I've been using and perfecting for years, that has helped me in regards to managing my net worth and my finances. And and what the spreadsheet has done for me has helped me to identify areas that I needed to improve in, and then it also highlighted the areas that I was doing well in. And from analyzing this information, this data, I was able to continually increase my net worth to where now I have a very satisfactory net worth, and it continues to improve. Even with the downside in the economy, it's still doing better than, it has fallen due to fluctuations, but I'm still well off than what I was before. And it's similar to, I look at, financial tracking, similar to the way you can approach it from a physical fitness standpoint. When you're working out, the one thing that you want to do is you want to understand what your body mass index is. You want to understand what, what your fat composition is in your body. You want to understand what your weight is. You want to track and monitor your weight. You want to track and monitor, your hip size or your waist size and so forth. And once you start gathering these numbers and even counting calories, right, and understanding how many miles you've either walked or you ran, or you're counting your steps, you always want to qualify things. And so what this spreadsheet helps you to do, as well as it helps you to qualify and track your financial information, your assets and your liabilities. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of show you this spreadsheet. I have two spreadsheets of this. I have a copy of this actually. This copy right here is a blank copy because I want to show you what it's going to look like if you decide to get it, what it's going to look like without any data in it. Then I'm going to jump to one that I've populated with data so that you can just kind of see how the spreadsheet works. So quickly, let's just look at the interface that I created here. Down at the bottom, as you can see, within this spreadsheet, and this spreadsheet, by the way, it works in both Google Sheets, as well as it works in Microsoft Excel. But at the bottom, you'll see various tabs here. You have dashboard, capital, investment, retirement, real estate, credit debt, education debt, auto debt, mortgage debt. And there are a few other tabs over here to the right. But you'll start off, when you first open this up, it'll go to the dashboard tab. And once this is populated, you're going to see you'll be able to get a quick visual of the information that you have. And I'll kind of talk about this tab probably almost last. But let's just kind of start off as if we were just getting this spreadsheet and we want to populate it with information. The first thing that we're going to want to do is start all the way at the final tab, which is data. And as you can see here, I've kind of already populated this. But what you can do is use these various columns, the loan type column, account type, investment type, and property type. And you can populate this with the type of data elements that you would like to see as headers. So I use this to kind of use this for a value list for the headers that you're going to see on the other tabs. So if you have an angel investor loan, if you're a business and you get an angel investor loan, you can populate that here. Even if you're probably a small, let's just say, for example, if you are a small home flipper and you're working probably with, a third party investor that provides you with the funding, you can probably put angel investor loan. You may want to use that as a type. You also have auto loan, which I put in here because these are, again, this is information that individuals can populate in. But these are the ones that I have populated in. So for account types, cash, certificate of deposit, checking account, which most people have, escrow, money market accounts, savings accounts. So you can populate in, again, you can remove this information or you can keep it in. And what that does is it's going to build out your value list. So now that you see what I have here, and also too, let me just talk about the property types. So while I put in for my property types, because, if you have commercial property, you can put in commercial property. If you have land and you want to be that specific land, if you own a mixed use development, you can put that in there. If you have a residential loan for maybe the house that you live in, your primary residence, you can put in a residential loan. The reason why I have primary here, because if you have a secondary, sometimes if you have mortgages, you can put in primary loan, primary mortgage, secondary mortgage. I could have easily changed this to mortgage, primary mortgage, secondary, which probably would be a better reflection. And then you can just have residential rental, or these are actually the property types. And those are probably, my loans are going to be over in the other columns. But you can kind of see that because I have mortgage here, mortgage first, mortgage second, which is like your mortgages. But these are the property types. So when you originally get this, this is the tab that you want to first start off with to populate in your data elements for your value list. And then when you come here, you have your capital. And as you can see here, I put in, you can see what accounts that I have. These are the account types. You can put that type of information in. And then for the accounts, you can see where the value lists come into play. It'll show you, it populates with the information from that data tab. Going over to the investment tab. When you go down to the investment tab, similar thing. It populates with those investments. You can see the cash certificates of deposit. And as you make changes to the data tabs, that information would also change. So you can see from retirement, and this is for like your retirement accounts. You can have like college savings, life insurance, retirement. And then on your real estate tab, this is where you would track your real estate properties. You can see the real estate types, the property types, commercial, land, mixed use, a primary residence, residential rental. You could even put apartment buildings in here, but you would put it back in on the data tab. And then your credit cards and your education and so forth. So this is what the tab would look like once it's blank. Now what I'm going to do is show you the tab, how it looks populated. So what I did was I come in and at the end of every month, so like for my January numbers, to get my January numbers, what I want to see is what was my net worth on January 31st of 2023. Let's just take that as an example. What I would do is on either January 31st at the close of business, like after the stock market is closed or after certain, after businesses have shut down, or I pick an arbitrary time like 9 p.m. But sometime either on that day, on the 31st, or on the February 1st, the next day, before the markets open back up, before like 9:30 or before 9 a.m., I gather my information from all of my accounts. So on the capital, this is where I go to like all of my bank accounts and I start populating information in, as you can see. And again, I just filled in some data here just so that it's populated. But I just put this in, and this tab runs from 2023 all the way down to 2025. I didn't populate 2025 because I just wanted to kind of show you all what the data is going to look like. So these were the account information. So I just gather my account informations and I populate them in. And so look, as you can see, the rows go this way. So you can see for January 2023, I would just populate in for all of the various accounts. Then I would move down to the next tab, which is investments. And so for January 2023, for my investments, I just start populating in data into here as well. Like for my investment accounts, I do that. For any other investment accounts, I just populate in my data and I just keep going down from January, February, March, April, and so forth. Retirement accounts. This is where you can track like your 401ks, your thrift savings plans, and or your IRAs, any type of retirement accounts that you have. This is where I put this information in. And again, the rows go across for January, February, 2023, 2024. You go through 2025. For real estate, what I normally do with my real estate, the way I track that is on a monthly basis, I would normally peruse certain websites. You have sites in your area where you can track, comparable home sales, or you can estimate. I try to use the best educated guess of what my home value is. And then what I do is I populate that in every month. So every month I would go out to whatever website, whether you're going to use realtor.com, Zillow, Redfin, I don't know, or you can use like property tax assessment websites. Every state has those, and you can go to see what the home sales were in your neighborhood, and you can track that information, and you can kind of make an educated guess on what your property value is. You can probably even use your neighbors if you know current home sales on your block. And so what I would do is every month I would go in and track the value of my properties. And I would just put that information in, and I would just say, well, this is what the property value is if I were to put it on the market for January 31st or February 1st, the value for this date. And every month I track that, whether it goes up or whether it goes down. Now moving to credit debt. This is just basically credit card information. So I just populate in credit card information here. Every month, just go in and populate whatever credit debt that you have. Again, and you can add credit. These columns are addable. You can add in information to the various columns if you acquire new credit cards or not. I don't typically take stuff away. If something goes to zero, like I've tried to give an example here, I just either put a 0 in or I leave it blank. You can leave them blank as well, because the calculations will still work. Education debt. So if you have any education loans, outstanding loans that are in your name, this is where I populate that information, and I populate those balances. Auto debt, same thing. I just calculate how much auto debt, how many auto loans I have out there, and every month, at the end of the month or the first day of the next month, I'm doing it for the previous month. And then finally, mortgage debt. So the mortgage debt, what I do track, I go into my mortgage statements, my bank statements, and I look, I log into my accounts and I check to see what's the balance on, the loans that I have for each of my properties. And so what that basically does is this mortgage debt is going to subtract from this real estate, what your real estate value is, and it's going to give you the net value of your real estate for that particular month. And so that's where I enter in my real estate debt in right here as well. So once you've added or input all of this information into this spreadsheet, what's going to happen is now you're going to have a financial overview tab here. And so once you come to this financial overview tab, this information automatically calculates. It's going to let you know what, as far as for your cash, it's going to add up all of that capital that you put in. And it's going to tell you for the month of, January, for January 2023, this is how much cash you have on hand. It's going to let you know, how much, what your real estate property value is. It's going to let you know what your investments are. And this is just what your real estate property value is. And then it's not minus from your mortgage debt. That's going to be another column over. But you're going to be able to track what your investments are. And it's just going to give you your totals here. And then once you come over, and then you'll see here also what your debt is. It's showing you what your debt is for the month, what your mortgage debt totals are. Just as far as, it's not giving you a monthly total, it's just giving what the value is of that debt overall. And so then you're going to see what your total assets are. You're going to be able to see what your total debt is. And then it's also going to show you what your total net worth is. So this is the column that I normally take a look at, and I normally check out on a monthly basis. I normally say, okay, where's my net worth? And then it's going to show you. And then so January 2023, if this is your first time tracking it, you're not going to have any previous rollover. So there's nothing to compare January 2023 from, because you just started this spreadsheet. So this is why I wanted to populate a lot of this data in, because I wanted to show you how this rolls over. Because as you can see, once you get into February, now once you do it for the first month, January 2023, your increases are not going to show. So you're not going to show cash on hand increases or real estate changes or investment changes. You're not going to see any of those changes. But once you get to February and you start entering information for February, now it's going to say, okay, so February, my net worth was this. February 2023 or whatever year you're in, you're going to say my net worth was this, but my previous month's net worth was that. What was the change? And it's going to let you know you went up by this amount. And the increase was, the percentage increase was this. It's also going to show you, okay, what your cash increase was. So it's going to let you know that, from in February, you're now holding, as you can see here, 21,000, but in January you were holding 19,000. So you went up by $2,000. And it's also going to do the same for real estate. It's going to let you know what your real estate value increase was. And it's also going to let you know what your investment change is. And it's going to let you know what your retirement change is. And as you can see, I have negative balances in. I'm just trying to show you, how your accounts will fluctuate and how you can see negative numbers. So like right here, matter of fact, here I entered in a change here where you can see, well, now my cash changed. My cash went down 4,000. So you're going to be able to see where your money is fluctuating. And what you can do, you can look at the raw numbers, because a lot of people like to look at raw numbers, and you can extract these raw numbers and export them somewhere else. But what you can also do too is, if you just want a high level view of the information, when you first come into this, like if this was when you come in on a monthly basis, when you come in, you're going to be able to see this in your dashboard. So your dashboard is going to show you a lot of this information. Your dashboard is going to show you your net worth. And then you're going to say, I want to know what my net worth is for January of 2023. So this was your net worth. But you can also change that. You can say, well, let me look at it for December of 2023. And it's going to show you that change. So you just use your value list here, and you can look to see, let's go down to May 2024. And so you can change this to use the value list, the drop down list, to see whichever particular month that you want to look at. And then also you can, it's going to show you what your net worth change is. So if you wanted to say, well, what was my net worth change? Okay, I started this, I got this spreadsheet in January of 2023. And now we're in, let's just say June of 2024. What was my net worth change? And you can see here, oh, wow, I went down $400-something thousand. Or maybe you're just trying to say, okay, well, let me look at it from, we're doing June from May 2024 to June 2024. If you just want to look at it from this 1 month period of time, you can see what those particular changes is. So you would just look at it from the earlier month and year to the most recent month and year. And that's how you could work these list of values to see what your net worth change is. Then also you have another visual pie chart here, which you can select the time frame again. And you can say, well, from May 2023, what was my liquid asset allocation? So you're just looking at your liquid assets. You're looking at your retirement money, your cash, as well as your investments. And so what that's going to do is kind of show you the breakdown of where your money is. And as you can see, most of the money in this particular example for the data was 80-something% in retirement. And then you can see how that relates to your cash and how that relates to your other investments. And again, you can use the value list here to change that and look at other previous months. And the final visual that's on this page on your dashboard is going to be just a net worth chart. It's just going to be a linear graph chart where you can look at from January 2023, January 2024, And then you're going to have January 2025. And of course, this is where I stopped the data. So the data really ends in December 2024 because that's all I populated. So that's why it dips down to 0 here. And then once you populate for 2025, the chart will continue and pick back up. But as you can see, if one wanted to look, they can just see, okay, where are my numbers and where am I at? And you can kind of get a visual of how your money has been flowing. So this has just been a tool that I use that helps me out. I think it helps me out, and I think that it would definitely help you out because you can see how your money is moving. You can. It has also encouraged me to, invest more. It has encouraged me to either hold on to more cash. It has just encouraged me to, eliminate my debt. And I'm also coming out with a debt chart as well, or a debt graph, a debt management tool, should I say. But this has just been something that's helped me, and I hope that it'll help you and help you to get your 2023 year started off well and help you to manage, hopefully, the volatility that's coming ahead. It's not as extreme as they're making it out to be. But hopefully, if you start implementing good practices and start tracking your money and start using some analytics, that you can make better and more intelligent financial moves with your money and increase your net worth. So again, this is AJ Smith. The information will be on this website, on this page. You can find it down in the description box, or if you're on ajsmith365.com, it should be listed in the article as well. And also you could check out my website for various articles, which is ajsmith365.com. I post various financial and professional development articles on that page. Again, Happy New Year, and everyone take care and prosper.